share a few stories with the graduates who have lived them and the families, friends, and mentors who have personally lived them with us as our support systems. So Dr. Harvey spoke about some of the challenges of residency in the past, getting through medical school to then face the first day of internship, being clueless about how to put an order in the computer system, and terrified you might actually hurt or kill someone. This was not just playing doctor in a medical student white coat anymore. This was for real. Surviving that internship to then face teaching a brand new bunch of interns who may actually have been more clueless than you were, or maybe you just had no patience left. Going behind their every step, reviewing every order, even if it's 3 a.m., to do your best to guide these fresh doctors and take care of your patients, to confronting the decision of what to do when you graduate. You can actually see there is light at the end of the residency or fellowship tunnel as you begin your 3rd year. You can go on to do a wonderful fellowship like geriatrics or gastroenterology, or you can head off as an internal medicine attending. All of these events, both big and small, have led you to the present, the milestone of graduation day from residency or fellowship. As I thought about the present, I realized what a challenge 2020 has been, both outside the world of medicine and inside the world of medicine. In the outside world, schools, businesses, restaurants have all been closed. You haven't been able to go out to eat to a sit-down establishment in quite some time. You haven't been able to enjoy a movie at a local cinema. In the world of medicine, you come to work to a hospital or office that has been eerily quiet in a way, where patients are actually afraid to come see you. You have had to adjust to a new world of virtual medicine. This has not been an easy challenge to face, but there have been fun moments along the way. I am in the world of geriatrics, where we specialize in taking care of older adults. Virtual visits with my older adults have been a hoot. We have performed cognitive testing via audio-visual conferences, where we ask patients to remember 5 words and then repeat them to us a little later on in the test. Patients have cheated by jotting down the first letter of each word, or even the entire word, with their nearby pencil and sheet of paper. We have asked them to tell us the date and time. They have casually looked down to the date and time at the bottom of their computer screen, or to the calendar on the wall, forgetting we can see them cheating. We have listened to a patient and her husband break out into an argument as he tried to help her count backwards from 100 by subtracting serial 7s, 100, 93, 86, and so on, seemingly forgetting we were there watching and she alone was supposed to be taking the test. I hope you have enjoyed a few laughs like I have during these present times of 2020. I would just like to say I'm so proud to be graduating with such compassionate colleagues today, and hope you all are looking forward to the challenges of the future. You have faced a lot of challenges and will be wonderful physicians.
Wonderful job, both of you guys. I have a few words to say. First and foremost, I just want to start off thanking everybody who made this possible. Thanks for doing this still. I know it's quite the smaller scale than we expected, but it's still nice to be recognized that we are graduating and moving forward. So much of this is directed for the residents and maybe my co-fellows who may or may not be watching, I'm not sure. But as we embark on the next journey of our lives after graduation, we face a new set of challenges. Whether you're graduating from residency or fellowship, and whether you're going into a further fellowship or starting your own practice, there's a new set of challenges that we have to face, and other hurdles that we need to jump over once again. So as we move forward, I think it's very vital to think about and move forward with past experiences as mine, experiences that the 2 physicians here to the left of me referred to earlier. When we encounter a difficult clinical situation, it's important to remember the lessons that we've learned with our prior experiences, things that we've learned in medical school, in residency, and fellowship, and to think about those things when we encounter these patients. I have no doubt that we've been trained well. We've done I'd love to tell everybody that we've done 14 years, at least I have, 14 years after high school. That's quite a lot of training, and hopefully at this point we're well prepared to take each patient one by one and hopefully take care of them as appropriately. Another thing I wanted to tell you is that it's pretty awesome that we can finally say we have our own patients. At least, Paige, you're graduating and you're getting a job right now. Same with Harvey, as well as myself. We're not furthering our training any longer. We finally have our own patients to take care of, which is pretty awesome, and so are you, actually. So that's pretty awesome. So before taking the next step, I'd like you all to think about your personal hurdles and think about your interactions with your patients throughout the years, each patient that you've encountered. Think about your colleagues, your attendings, co-fellows, co-residents, and embrace all of those interactions and move forward with that. I truly believe that a life in medicine requires a special calling. We wouldn't be here if we didn't love what we did. 14 years after high school is a long time. In keeping with that, let's all remain true to our patients and our commitment to lifelong learning with the opportunity that we've received being in medicine. It's not even easy to get into medical school, so we're all lucky to be here. Congrats to everyone. I'd like to personally thank my attendings. Dr. May, appreciate it. My attendings who may be watching, Dr. Provo, Mohammed, and Misho. It was awesome. You guys are awesome to learn from. My co-fellows were incredible. So thank you all for an incredible experience those last 3 years, and congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, doctors. Great reflections on some times in residency and fellowship. We are exceptionally proud of all of you and all that you guys have done and all that you and your peers have accomplished with us. At this time, I would like to invite Ms. Kathy Bailey, our president and CEO, to share a few remarks with us and the graduates. Ms. Bailey is not able to be with us tonight, but she has prepared a special message for our graduates. And Ms. Bailey.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Bailey, President and CEO of Carolina's Healthcare System Blue Ridge, and I am so sorry that I cannot be with you tonight. Unfortunately, many of your friends and family can't be with you either due to our COVID-19 pandemic. But please know that our hearts are with you. We are proud of what you've done, and we look forward to continuing to support you as you move forward in your career. We've enjoyed having you here. For those of you that are staying, we're very happy you're here. And for those of you that are moving on, please know that you take a little part of Carolina's Healthcare System Blue Ridge with you. We'll miss you. Good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey. I would now like to welcome Dr. Roel Sampath, the Program Director for Internal Medicine, to come up for the graduates. Dr. Sampath.
Thank you. All right, so there's a lot of people to thank. First, I'd like to thank Ms. Kathy Bailey. I'd like to thank the Senior Administration for their support for the internal medicine program. I'd like to thank everybody in the GME, Michelle, Paula, Myra. I'd like to thank each and every doctor who's helped, consoled, guided any resident through their journey over the past 3 years. Special thanks to Dr. Gordon, Dr. Collette, Dr. Burnett, Dr. Campanile, Dr. Amwako, and I apologize if there's anybody I missed, but we're really grateful for all the hard work you put in. Numbers. So let's consider numbers for a second. So, 1 patient at a time that you'll be seeing when you're a doctor. 2 patients' relatives in the room, maybe more. 3 things to remember: wear, wash, wait. 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the afternoon, a typical work day for some of y'all. 5 days in a week that some of y'all will be working. 6 hours of sleep, probably a little more, but 6 should be good enough. 7 on, 7 off for some of y'all. 8 fantastic internal medicine graduates from CHS Blue Ridge 2020. 1 million patient lives that you will be touching over the next few years of your career, for as long as you probably will be a doctor. 1 million lives, and that is something to consider. 1 million people that you will touch, 1 million people that you can make a bit happier, 1 million faces that you can bring a smile to. And we've had a DC themed analogy, so I'll bring in a little bit of Marvel into it and say, in the words of Uncle Ben, I'm seeing some confused faces. Your Uncle Ben was Peter Parker's uncle. More confused faces. Okay, Peter Parker was Spider-Man. And with great responsibility, with great power, comes great responsibility. And I'm sure you guys will do us proud. And it is with that pride that I will invite you up to the front, to the podium, and hand you your graduation certificate. First, I'd like to call, our first graduate couldn't be here. She's Dr. Mackenzie Cannon. She did her medical school in William Carey University College of Osteopathic Medicine, Harrisburg, Mississippi. Her future plans are geriatric medicine fellowship at CHS Blue Ridge with us, Morganton, North Carolina. Congratulations, Dr. Cannon. Can we have a round of applause? Our second resident is Dr. Kevin Cheng. He did his medical school at St. Louis University School of Medicine, Missouri. Future plans of hospice and palliative medicine fellowship at Spartanburg Regional Healthcare System, Spartanburg, South Carolina. Congratulations. I'd like to call upon Dr. John Deppy, medical school, Rush Medical College at Rush University, Chicago, Illinois. Future plans, a psychiatry resident at Emory University School of Medicine, Atlanta, Georgia. Congratulations. I call Dr. Sean Godfrey, Medical School, Alabama College of Osteopathic Medicine. Future plans, endocrinology fellowship at the Brody School of Medicine, ECU, Greenville, North Carolina. Congratulations. I call Dr. Jeremy Harvey, American University of the Caribbean School of Medicine, St. Martin in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Future plans, hospice at the Piedmont Medical Center, Rock Hill, South Carolina. Congratulations. I call Dr. Paige Lewis, Medical School at University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, Pikeville, Kentucky. Future plans, hospice at St. Joseph Hospital at Lexington, Kentucky. All right. I call Dr. Hannah Stewart, Medical School at Lincoln Memorial University DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine, Harrogate, Tennessee. And future plans of geriatric medicine fellowship at Vanderbilt University Medical Center, Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, got it.
And finally, Dr. Lee Tran, Medical School at Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, Suwanee, Georgia. Future plans, she will be the internal medicine chief and junior faculty at Mount Valley Health Center, Carolina, CHS Blue Ridge, Morganton, North Carolina. Congratulations. With that, I will hand the mic over to Dr. Frank. Thank you.
I got my papers on. Thank you. One more time, a round of applause for our internal medicine graduates. At this time, I would ask that Dr. Jerry Mank, who has served as the program director for the Gastroenterology Fellowship, come up front as he presents the GI Fellowship graduate to you.
Thank you, Dr. Frank, for that introduction. I'd like to thank everybody at home watching virtually, and of course everybody here in the room who was able to come to this event. Unfortunately, due to current circumstances, it's not quite as grand as it has been in the last several years. But I also like to thank Dr. Sampath has thanked several of the same people, but I want to reiterate how appreciative I am, how the Division of GI is for our senior leadership, several here at the table, Ms. Bailey, Drew Thomas, and John Mercer, etc. I'd also like to thank the Board of Directors for being very supportive. And of course the GME office, Paula Ratcliffe can't be here. She's at home, with her son who's about to get married tomorrow. But Myra Spencer, who is my right-hand woman, couldn't do it without her. She's fantastic. There she is. Oops. That's too far down there. Michelle Collins, integral to both my fellowship and, of course, internal medicine. And then Dr. Frank, who's the DIO and, of course, our Chief Medical Officer. I also like to thank our faculty, Dr. Sunil Muhammad, Dr. Nathaniel Krogel, Dr. Matthew Michaud. Those are our faculty, core faculty located here in the Morganton campus. And then, of course, we have faculty in Charlotte, Dr. Mark Russo, who's a world-class transplant hepatologist, Shalindra Chauhan, who is an advanced endoscopist, and Dr. Lodia, who is an inflammatory bowel disease specialist. So we thank them also for their willingness to be a part of our program and teach our fellows. I'd also like to thank Rahul Sampath. He's an amazing program director for internal medicine, and his dedication and commitment to internal medicine residents very inspiring. Inspires me every day to be better. No further ado, let's recognize why we're here today. And I have one graduate this year. As you know, he spoke very eloquently earlier, Dr. Gaurav Chand. Come on up. Good job, buddy. As he eloquently stated, once you finish high school, it takes 14 years to become a gastroenterologist. Along the way, he's had a lot of help from family, friends, colleagues, mentors, etc. I want to give a shout out to three of the most important people in his life. His mother and father, who are back in Michigan watching this, hopefully. Good wave. Deepti and Ravi Chand are his parents. Then, of course, we can't forget his wife, Brittany, who's in Charlotte now, y'all. Yep. Officially moved, so she's at home in Charlotte watching this. Fantastic. Thank y'all for your continued support. Without y'all's help, he wouldn't be standing here today for sure. He came to us from Michigan. We were blessed to have him come from Michigan. Did his medical school at Michigan State College of Osteopathic Medicine, and obviously residency back in Michigan in Providence Hospital, and then has spent the last 3 years here at CHS Blue Ridge. So he's going to be a fantastic gastroenterologist in Charlotte. He's joined a group there that he's going to join here next month, and he's going to be an asset to that group for sure. So again, congratulations, and here is your diploma.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm smiling under here.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mank, and congratulations, Dr. Chan. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Golnish Sharif-Saleh, the Program Director for the Geriatric Medicine Fellowship, and have her recognize the Geriatric Medicine Fellows.
thank you guys for doing this tonight. I'm Golna Sharif-Sala. I'm the program director of the Geriatric Fellowship. I started the fellowship. This is the third year, our third group of graduates, and I'm very proud of that. But I couldn't have done it without this institution giving me that opportunity. So thank you guys so much for giving me that opportunity. I think that internal medicine and geriatric medicine work very closely together. So I really thank the internal medicine residency program and Dr. Sampath for allowing us to work together, to do our didactics together. And really thank you for letting me text you at strange hours with strange questions. So thank you for that. And Dr. May, thank you for just being my wonderful friend and helping me through awesome things. But Myra, thank you so much for everything that you do. And Paula, we wish you were here. But I want to start with the graduates. And I say this every year, geriatric medicine is the only specialty that really matters. And so I'm going to bring them up. It is. It's like the heart and soul of medicine, I believe. And it's awesome. So, and it's been really cool, too, because I feel like I've duped other people to become geriatricians. And I even feel like palliative medicine is about the same. So I'm really happy that more physicians are going into the world of geriatrics, where only 30% of people can see a geriatrician and only 13% have access to a geriatrician. So it's really important, especially hopefully we can reach rural and underserved areas of this country. So I would first like to call Dr. Benson to come up, Tina Benson. She attended Edward V. College of Osteopathic Medicine at Blacksburg, Virginia. And she is going to stay locally and join Advent Health in Hendersonville, North Carolina. That's near Asheville. I'm so proud of working with her. I met her intern year at the American Geriatric Society conference, and we kept in touch until she graduated from her family medicine residency. And she joined our group. She is one of the most compassionate people that I have had the honor to know, and I am so proud of you. Thank you so much. And I'll give you a hug later. Thank you to her parents who are watching virtually. Thank you. So Dr. Combs, I'd like to have you come up, please. Dr. Allison Combs, she also attended the Edward V. College of Osteopathic Medicine in Blacksburg, Virginia. And Dr. Combs completed her internal medicine residency here. And again, another one I tricked into becoming a geriatrician. And I've had such a wonderful year with you. And I am so happy that she is going to be working with us next year. Those are her future plans. But Dr. Combs is incredibly detail-oriented. I probably got more done this year than I have the last few years because of you. And Dr. Benson, I have to tell you this too. Thank you for letting me, again, message you and text you about things that I get excited about off of work hours, because I think that's what medicine is about, getting excited. So congratulations. I am very proud of you. Thank you. Thank you all. Oh, wait. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Sharif-Sala, and congratulations to the Geriatric Fellows. What an amazing group of residents and fellows that we are graduating tonight. Thank you all for allowing us to be part of your journey here at CHS Blue Ridge. I would also, again, like to echo many thanks to Paula and Michelle and Myra for all of your hard work. Again, the residencies and fellowships could not exist without all of y'all's hard work. We appreciate you, and we are glad that you are with us and helping these residents and fellows be successful. And at this time, I would like again to ask Francisco Risso to lead us as he provides a blessing for our graduates.
Thank you. I know that what we're going through in this time has been remarkable with the whole coronavirus. It's been a change of historic proportions. And just as we look at world history and there's a BC era, there's a before coronavirus, and now we're living in the C era, which is the corona era. And so when we used to do this blessing of hands in the BC era, we used to anoint your hands with my fingertips with lavender oil. But because we're doing the distancing, I'm just going to spray your hands with lavender hand sanitizer provided by Laura McNeely. So I'd like to invite everybody to come up here if you would like to receive a hand blessing, the residents. Maybe you can stand up here. I'll just form a line. And everybody else that's out there, I would invite you to raise your hand towards our residents in sending good vibes, sending blessings to them as I read this blessing for our physicians. May you always heal and be healed. May those who come to you find in you one who cares deeply, whose knowledge includes knowledge of the Spirit's movements. May you take pride in your gifts and use them humbly. May the suffering and the vulnerable be your teachers. May you see in others the goodness of a tender God. May compassion encircle you, carry you, strengthen you, and give you insight. May your presence be hope to those in pain. May your skill ease the way and instill trust. May you know the healer of all, and may your own heart be held in the compassion and tenderness of God.
Thank you, Francisco. I would like to share an inspiring message with you delivered by Dr. Vivek Murthy, addressed specifically to the class of 2020. Dr. Murthy served as the 19th Surgeon General of the United States. As America's doctor, Dr. Murthy created initiatives to tackle our country's most urgent public health issues. He chose areas of focus that were raised by people across America during his inaugural listening tour. In addition to his role as America's doctor, as the Vice Admiral of the U.S. Public Health Service Commission Corps, Dr. Murthy commanded a uniformed service of 6,600 public health officers serving the most underserved and vulnerable populations in over 800 locations domestically and abroad. He worked with thousands of Commission Corps officers to strengthen the Corps and protect the nation from Ebola and Zika, and to respond to the Flint water crisis, major hurricanes, and frequent health shortages in rural communities. Graduates, Dr. Murthy.
Congratulations, residency graduates, of the class of 2020. I can only imagine how proud, excited, and exhausted you must be after 3 years of postgraduate training. None of us could have imagined that when you began this journey a few years ago, that you would be finishing your training during one of the most surreal moments in our lifetimes. The COVID-19 pandemic transformed our lives and thrust you to the front lines of a struggle that you did not invite, but which you rose to meet with courage and conviction. Throughout it all, you fought through your own fear, weariness, and frustration as you sought to honor the oaths of service that you took and that we all took when we entered the profession. I want you to know how much you inspired people around the world. I want you to know how much you inspired me and my wife Alice. You showed all of us who we can be in our very best moments. I know the COVID-19 pandemic is far from over, and it is being compounded as another pandemic of racial injustice once again rears its ugly head. There will be more uncertainty to navigate and more challenges to grapple with in the months ahead. But you are also embarking on new journeys from this point onward, from fellowships to attending positions to research careers and other endeavors. Some of you may have clarity on what you want to do next. Others of you may be like I was at the end of residency, completely and utterly lost. After training, I ended up taking a part-time job as a hospitalist and spent the rest of the time brainstorming ideas on a big, yellow, legal-sized pad of paper. Most of the ideas I worked on during that year ended up in the trash. And the truth is, it was a tough time. Some of my clinical mentors thought I was closing the door on an academic career by taking a path that made me seem less serious. My family at times thought I was one step away from unemployment. And I had many, many moments of feeling scared and profoundly alone. It took more than a year of searching and trial and error to finally develop an idea I was excited about. An idea that used the lessons of social media to accelerate collaboration in clinical trials, and eventually became a company called Trial Networks. I have thought often about what sustained me during that winter of uncertainty, what allowed me to resurface despite repeatedly plunging into self-doubt. The answer is that it was a small group of people in my life. My parents, my sister, a couple of good friends, and mentors. They pulled me through with their belief in me and their unconditional love. It was their support that allowed me to search for my own path instead of living someone else's life, regardless of how safe that may have been. In part because of that experience, I've been giving a lot of thought to the role that relationships and social connection play in our lives. When I was Surgeon General, I began to realize that behind many of the stories I was hearing, stories of addiction, violence, chronic illness, and depression, were stories of disconnection and loneliness. I came to understand that most, if not all of us, struggle with loneliness at various points throughout our lives. And perhaps most of all, I came to appreciate how our relationships with each other affect everything from our risk of heart disease and premature death to our performance at work and our sense of fulfillment. As essential as human connection is to our well-being, it is often the first to suffer in our fast-moving world where we relocate often and where the pursuit of work and achievement often displace time with family and friends. But the truth is, when we have strong relationships in our lives, people with whom we can be open and vulnerable, who we can turn to in a crisis, then we are simply better off. That is why of all the things I wish for you in the journey ahead, what I wish for you most of all is that you lead a connected life. And there are 3 things that can help you do that. The first thing we can do is to make it a point to be fully present with those we love. It's easy to allow our precious time with others to be diluted as we refresh our inbox or check the news during conversation. But eliminating distraction and being fully present with someone can significantly increase the quality of our interaction. I'll always remember the story of my medical school classmate's father, who required surgery shortly before the school year began. When we asked her which doctor her dad ended up connecting with the most, to our surprise, she said it was his surgeon. Because even though the surgeon rounded on him for only 5 minutes each day, he made that time count. He sat next to my dad's father, held his hand, looked into his eyes, listened when he spoke, and gave thoughtful answers. By being fully present, he stretched time, making 5 minutes feel like half an hour. We can make time count with the people we love by giving them the gift of our full attention. The second thing we can do to strengthen our connections is to reach for kindness in our interactions with others. Yes, I know when we look at our public discourse or our social media exchanges, it's hard to escape the feeling that we live in a culture of condemnation where kindness is in short supply. But this is not truly who we are. By contrast, I believe that being kind is our natural instinct as empathic human beings. Kindness pauses before judging. Kindness gives people the benefit of the doubt, recognizing that we are all flawed. Kindness pushes us to be empathic and to build others up instead of tearing them down. In an era where anger and cynicism are rampant, practicing kindness can be a radical act of defiance. The greatest power of kindness is not to be found in grand gestures, but in the small acts of generosity, compassion, and affection. Being present and being kind are much easier when we have a critical third ingredient to building a connected life: the courage to be ourselves. There is no shortage in the world of messages that constantly tell us we should strive to be more thin, better looking, more published, more famous, more wealthy, and on the list goes. We can spend our whole lives trying to be the people we think we're supposed to be. When I was in training, and as an early attending, I find myself thinking a lot about how to publish more in academic medical journals, from research articles to case reports to perspective pieces. The truth was, I wasn't interested in publishing at all. But the world of medicine around me was telling me that this was a measure of value, and I didn't want to fall short. Around this same time, I remember one morning during internship, one of my fellow interns walked into our small group discussion and threw her papers down on the table in frustration. "I feel like such a failure," she said. "I'm never the first one to get the diagnosis and morning report case conference. And I can't rattle off all the clinical trials the way some of our co-interns can. All I can do is sit with patients and make them feel better." My friend was and is a gifted physician, but she was operating in a culture that prized knowledge so far above compassion. People didn't get promoted because they were kind to patients and tended to their physical and emotional needs. They didn't get published and recognized by their hospital leadership in the same way. Because her gifts were different from that of the culture in which she was training, she had started to doubt that she had any gifts at all. All of us, without exception, bring certain unique gifts to the world. It could be our humor, our compassion, our generosity, our discerning intellect, our artistic skill, our aesthetic sensibility, or our ability to bring people together. But how often do we forget those gifts? How often do we feel like we are not enough? I want you to know right here and right now that the most important qualities that you need to be a healer are the ones that you had even before you entered the medical profession. Your ability to care deeply for others, your ability to listen compassionately, and your ability to lead with love. Despite what the world may tell you, you are enough. You don't need to be someone else. Creating a connected life begins with the decisions we make in our day-to-day lives. Do we choose to make time for people, Do we show up as our true selves? Do we seek out others with kindness, recognizing the power of service to bring us together? This work isn't always easy. It requires courage. The courage to be vulnerable, to take a chance on others, to believe in ourselves. But as we build connected lives, we make it possible to build a connected world. In such a world, we design our schools, workplaces, and technology to support human connection. We shape our laws to be forces for strengthening community. We treat kindness and compassion as sacred values that are reflected in our culture and our politics. The quest to strengthen human connection is really about building a life grounded in love. It's about choosing love over fear in the decisions we make about our families, our friends, and our careers. I leave you today with a practice you can turn to during those moments of doubt that will inevitably surface during the years ahead. Take your right hand and place it gently over your heart. Close your eyes and take a breath. Think about the people in your life who have supported you on this journey to this very moment. Feel their love flowing through you, strengthening you, guiding you, and filling you with peace. And know that love is always there for you, no matter what happens in the world, because it resides within your heart. Now, open your eyes. Graduates of the class of 2020, what you felt was the power of love. The ability to give and receive love is, in the end, your greatest gift. Never ever forget that. I hope you are always surrounded by people who love you. I wish you many moments of laughter and joy. May you have lives full of inspiration, full of peace, and full of happiness. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Murthy. What a great message about the power of human connection, power of compassion and empathy. Some housekeeping items, if the graduates would stick around for us after the conclusion, there's some pictures that we would love to get. This has been an exciting and challenging time to be a physician. We are exceptionally proud of your courage and commitment to our patients and our community. CHS Blue Ridge is better because of your influence and patient-centered care. We will miss you. Congratulations and best of luck to all of you as graduates. Congratulations. Are we out?